5G Rural First is a collaborative project co-funded by the UK government with the aim of using new 5G strategies and technologies to deploy mobile wireless connectivity in rural areas. While many of us live in areas of extensive and pervasive connectivity in cities, in many of these rural areas across the world, connectivity is not always so well provisioned, or indeed many places it actually doesn't exist at all. So hence the name and intention of this project is 5G Rural First. Overall in the project, there's 29 partners ranging from Tier 1 corporates, SME tech companies, university research teams, local councils, and of course a number of use case developers. We believe actually it's the most ambitious collaborative 5G rural trial testbed in the world. Cisco Systems is the project lead, and University of Strathclyde is leading the design and the implementation of the radio access network.
4G was faster than 3G, which was faster than 2G. So 5G just means more speed, right? Not exactly. Sure, it's faster, much faster, but that's not all. With more capacity and less delays, 5G will allow us to connect to many more things, from wind turbines to salmon farms, to driverless tractors and smart grids, without the network slowing down or dropping out, helping us make the Internet of Things a reality beyond the city. And unlike 4G or 3G, the entire 5G network can be software defined, meaning operators can slice into multiple virtual networks and share these virtual networks with different communities or organizations, creating new economic opportunities and making high-speed connectivity accessible to everyone, even in rural areas.
There are three main RAN testbed locations. One is in the very north of Scotland on the remote Orkney Islands, where 5G Rural First is operating a test and development mobile network using the parallel wireless RAN. There's also two locations in rural England where agricultural 5G use cases are being tested, and again working with the parallel wireless hardware. We also have our 5G NGA core from Cisco operating at the Data Vita data centre, and that's near Glasgow down in central Scotland. The parallel wireless RAN in Orkney is providing key zones of coverage within the island's 2,000 square kilometres. So the network build and design challenge is pretty significant, both in terms of our coverage predictions, filling not spots, structuring backhaul, and of course managing our high-speed connectivity back to the Cisco 5G NGA core, which is some 200 miles away, again near Glasgow. The project's utilising the Faroese Telecom Schifa 2 submarine optical fibre cable. Now that links Iceland via the Faroe Islands, then to Shetland and Orkney Islands in the North Sea, and then landing on the Scottish mainland.
Creating a more connected country comes with its challenges. One of those challenges is working out how to connect 5G radio access points, which could be radio masts, or just small aerials in the sides of a building, back to the internet. There are a number of potential ways to achieve that, from fibre, to microwaves, or even satellite. But it's all made more complicated by the type of spectrum available for 5G. While low-frequency radio waves are better for long-distance connectivity, much of the spectrum assigned to 5G will be in the higher frequencies. And for 5G to work in these high frequencies, where radio waves travel much shorter distances, we'll have to build many more radio locations, such as lampposts or even road signs, to reach the areas we're trying to connect. These are just some of the challenges we face, but with enough investment, we believe we can solve them. That's why we're creating multiple real-life rural 5G experiments. We want to prove the economic benefit of connecting the country beyond the city and help unlock new opportunities for everyone in the UK.
The vision of 5G Rural First is about actually being 5G ready. And while the project has got a very clear roadmap to 5G new radio, our project really is about 5G new thinking. And realising that 5G is not just an evolution of 4G, it's a new and different generation. There's new ideas, there's new technologies, there's new strategies, there's definitely new business models. The project is exploring how new 5G technologies can allow new business models to create new networks and demonstrate end-to-end use cases utilising super-fast enhanced mobile broadband, ultra-low latency communications, and supporting massive IoT connectivity. All the things that 5G technology is heralding. With features of parallel wireless Ethernet gateways, introduction of network slicing, and a control and user plane separation, or so-called CUPS, on the Cisco core, we're making an effort to bring new thinking and design to rural areas first. One of the key project demonstrators will be based around the parallel wireless RAN on the Orkney Islands, where we're setting up a demonstration of an incumbent mobile network and showing how in rural and remote areas, dynamic and shared spectrum can make a real difference. Of course, we need to think also about the new business models or partnerships with incumbent service providers to access any unused or indeed underused spectrum with appropriate sharing mechanisms. This is again just part of what the project sees as 5G new thinking.
A radio network is essentially a spectrum of different frequencies we can connect to with wireless or mobile devices. There are different radio frequencies for different types of communication. Low frequencies are good for long distance, bending and reflecting around objects in corners and penetrating buildings. High frequencies are preferred for short distance and higher capacity. But there is a finite supply of radio frequencies, and 5G needs both low and high frequencies to work well. And in rural areas, where there is often little or even no connectivity, our precious spectrum is sometimes left unused. It's a bit like building a 5-lane motorway and leaving the 5th lane closed. Thankfully, technology can now support a potential solution: spectrum sharing, making it possible to share unused spectrum with local communities, organisations and service providers, bringing high-speed wireless and mobile connectivity to rural areas, squeezing every last drop of value from our spectrum, and powering our economy beyond the city, in a way that benefits the whole of the UK.
So it's all about rural and taking clear note of the communities, industries and requirements in these locations. So in Orkney, for example, we're setting up IoT connectivity from fish farms to wind farms We're connecting Legionella sensors, we're supporting tourism with mobile connectivity and tourist bus routes. We're even providing connectivity and augmented reality apps at the World Heritage sites like the 4,000-year-old Ring of Brodgar standing stones. We're also running a 4G broadcast trial in linear radio with the BBC. And then of course, communities will benefit from plain old connectivity at high speeds, showing the benefits of enhanced mobile broadband. Down in Shropshire and Somerset in rural England, it's about demonstrating agri-tech. So we've got flying connected drones, we've got hyperspectral imaging of crops, we've got low latency, high resolution video for vets, and we've got IoT monitoring of livestock and more. So for our project consortium, it's again 5G Rural First. Using solutions such as the highly deployable and flexible parallel wireless RAN and HetNet gateway, we have a network ready for 5G next generation connectivity. And we're aiming to demonstrate lower and more affordable CapEx and OpEx for rural communities and businesses.
The Internet of Things, or IoT for short, is a network of everyday objects connected to the internet and each other to make them smarter. Things like watches, light bulbs, even your doorbell. IoT makes it possible to collect and analyse huge amounts of data from these objects and even control them remotely, all in real time. Industrial IoT takes this principle and applies it to areas like manufacturing, agriculture and energy, where there are millions of potential things to connect, providing valuable information that could benefit these industries, especially in rural areas, like monitoring conditions at salmon farms to make sure all the fish stay healthy, or keeping tabs on wind turbines to minimise damage in dangerous weather. With 5G connectivity, we'll be able to access this data much more efficiently, with zero to virtually no delays, increasing the potential for automation, helping all kinds of industries become more productive, and unlocking new economic benefits beyond the city that will positively impact everyone in the UK.